Now in this video, I'm going to discuss with you May-June 2017, paper 12, the A2 questions. So let's see what they ask us. So look at the music there. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got the questions that we'll just go through just now. But look at your music there. I see that it's in 4/4 time. Maybe they ask me a genre. Okay. I see a lot of triplets, dotted rhythms. We can go through the key, battle ends and down. So it's in A flat major. Starts with a 5-1 with that anacrusis.
You will hear an extract of music for instruments. Look at the skeleton score and read through the questions.
So let's read through the questions. What instrument plays the printed melody? So the one that you see there. As the extract continues, the melody is heard again. In what ways is the music different? It's for 3 marks. What type of music is this? A march, a minuet, a recitative, or waltz? I can already rule out 2 because I saw my time signature then. When was this music written? And give 2 reasons for your answer. So let's listen to the music now and try to identify that instrument playing the printed melody. Let's just wait for that.
Now listen to music A2 and answer the questions.
And identify that instrument. Now the music is different there. I'm sure that you could identify this one here. There's also something different there. And then, when was this music written? And give 2 reasons for your answer. Now the first question, what instrument plays the printed melody? Was that an instrument from the strings, the woodwinds, the brass, or percussion? As the extract continues, the melody is heard again. In what ways is the music different? Think of your Dr. Smith. Is the dynamics different? Do you have different rhythms? Different articulation? Is there a modulation? Is the melody or the pitch higher or lower? Do you hear more melodies added? And the instrumentation, is that different? What type of music is this? Now they ask you whether it's a march or a minuet or a recitative, a waltz. So let's go through this. It can be a march because it's in 4/4 tempo. The march I know is a steady tempo. It's a walking pace. It's in 2/4 time. We've got many dotted rhythms. Maybe you saw that there. The brass section is prominent. And the percussion or the cymbal and snare drums, that's very prominent in a march. And I have a triadic melody. A minuet is in 3/4 time. So I can rule that one out. A recitative is something that a singer sings. I can rule out that one. And I'm sure that I can also rule out the waltz with the papa in 3/4 time. So that one I can already answer. When was this music written? It sounds as if I have a melody and accompaniment. I have a large orchestra. And the brass section is now very prominent. So that's definitely not in the Baroque time. Maybe the orchestra is too large here for the classical era. And it's not 20th century. So maybe think of the romantic orchestra, and I think that will be your answer. I have a lot of chromatic notes. Percussion is very important here. The brass section is very important here. And in the previous June 2017 paper, the A1 section, paper 11, I did the romantic orchestra and all the other orchestras with you. So let's see why I think this is romantic. Features a wider range of instruments and an expansion in the size of the orchestra. So you can say this is a large orchestra. That is I see the memorandum. Music was used to tell stories or create emotions, and a wider range of harmony was used, including discords. I heard that modulation, so that is a main feature of romantic. We have a lyrical melody, distinctive themes, and use of the leitmotif. That I don't hear here. Expressive style of music, massive variation in dynamics. Richer harmonies, okay, added note chords, more use of the pentatonic and modal ideas. I'm not going to write everything because this is now in general, so you just write the things that you heard there. We heard the big, large orchestra. We heard that the brass instrument played the melody, and the brass section as a section was developed now, and I heard unusual modulations. So let's go through our brass instruments and see whether you can recognize this instrument that played the solo.
The brass family. French horn.
That sound was too muted for the one that I heard now, so I don't think it's the French horn.
Tuba.
Oh, that's much lower than the one that I just heard, so it's not the tuba. That's very low. It's not that one.
Trumpet.
That sounds like the instrument that I just heard, but we're now going to listen to that one again. But this sounds familiar.
Sousaphone.
We don't have the sousaphone as part of our instruments that we need to know, but this is definitely too low for the ones that we need to do.
Trombone.
That's also not the sound that I just heard, so I don't think it's that one. So listen to the brass instruments for your revision when you do this video. It's going to help you a lot. I'm going to put some links in the description box for you.
The brass family.
Now the brass section, all these instruments were developed and played a lot of solos in the Romantic era in the orchestra, and they had the main melodies in the march. Now let's listen to this music again. Start it there. And try and listen now to the difference that you hear there and whether you can hear this trumpet playing. So I hear the trumpet there. Bar 10. Seventeen. Now that's definitely in a different key. So there's a modulation. A little bit of a change of the dynamics I hear there as well. And there I have a descant playing on the top. Ta-ta-ta-tum, ta-ta-ta-tum. So I have more instruments added. Okay. So we know it's a march. When was this music written? It's definitely in the Romantic era. And we discussed the reasons for your answer. So let's go through the answers. It's the trumpet. It is a march. It's in the Romantic period. The brass playing the melody. Okay. Unusual modulations. You hear that large orchestra. So it's romantic. So let's listen out for this 3-mark question. New key, higher pitch. So I have a modulation for 1 mark. You hear the pizzicato in the strings. Full orchestra. Okay. More instruments. So the brass instruments no longer accompany. We've got the strings accompanying. If you could hear that triplet at the end of bar 12, that's wonderful. And there we have that descant. Ta-ta-ta-tum, ta-ta-ta-tum. So I would say go through your brass instruments, okay, and listen out for all the changes that you hear there. There was just one option, and that was the march, because the waltz is in 3/4, the minuet is in 3, and then it was definitely not a recitative, and it's not classical music. Okay, it's too big. The orchestra's too big, and the brass instruments played the melody here.
Here
we
is
heard
A2
more unusual modulations here. So I'm sure that this will help you a lot. Let's listen to that one again until the end of this video.